Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. We're going to be talking about former Teen Mom star Kail Lowry. We're going to listen to her detail her last meeting with her dad. Her dad is dying. He is on hospice. And she had a list of what deathbed questions that she flew to Texas to confront her dad. She said when she pulled into the driveway, she was mad. She thought her dad can kiss her butt. And we're going to listen to her podcast where she details the questions that she asked and what her experience was like, um, visiting with her dad for what could potentially be the last time. She did say that she was going to try to go back and see him again because the meeting did not go like the way that she expected it to go. She thought that she was just going to ask him questions, be done with him, continue to be mad at him. But she got a lot of answers, and she says she feels like her anger is misplaced. So I'm going to go over an article really quickly, fly through this article. Then I'm going to remind you guys of Kail Lowry's first meeting with her dad. It was filmed on 16 and Pregnant, and then we'll listen to what she has to say. Kail Lowry reveals what happened when she went to Texas to confront her dying father, whom she's been estranged with for all of her life. She flew out to Texas when she was on 16 and pregnant, when she was 16 and pregnant, and that meeting did not go as planned back then. But Kail Lowry recently returned from a trip to Texas where she confronted her estranged father, Ray Lowry, while on his deathbed. She was hoping to get answers to questions she had about her childhood and why he abandoned her. During the most recent episode of Karma and Chaos podcast, Kail disclosed what happened when she saw her dad face to face. Can you guys hear me okay? And Dina, it just started. As fans remember, Kail met her father once before. It was filmed on her episode of 16 and Pregnant. The meeting did not go well. Kail did not stay in contact with Ray. In July, Kail revealed that Ray is now on hospice due to him having stage 4 chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. She also reveals plans to fly to Ray's. She also revealed plans back then in July that she was going to fly to Ray's home in Texas to confront him before he dies to get answers to her questions. In July, she said, I feel like you don't get to die without answering all the questions that I have. I want to know why he left. I want to know why he didn't try harder. I want to know why he just gave up. Well, on Tuesday's episode of Karma and Chaos, Kail spoke out about what happened when she arrived at her dad's home in Texas. She says she went in angry. And we're going to listen to all of this. So let me see. Yeah, this is all just quotes from what happened. So we'll go ahead. I'm gonna play you guys clips from when she first met him on 16 and Pregnant, just to kind of give you guys, remind you guys of how that went. The first time meeting her dad on 16 and Pregnant. And I had to cut the audio out because it was music and I didn't want to get copyrighted, which I think they ended up copyrighting me anyways, and I had to file an appeal. And we're in the process of moving, so I've been cleaning.
You are short.
I told you.
You're short.
Told you I wasn't tall.
This one fine.
What you expect? 6 foot?
We have Dunkin' Donuts around here.
Oh yeah. You like Dunkin' Donuts?
So that was when he picked her up from the airport, and then this is at the house where she started feeling really uncomfortable. She asked him, will you be here when the baby's born? And he's like, well, I don't know. I don't know when the baby's coming, which I think she just meant in general. Like, do you plan to stay in my life? Will you be around when I have my baby? He took it very like, will you be there when I have the baby? And he's like, well, heck, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't know. I don't know what. Yes, I have been steam cleaning. We've been painting. I just took everything out of my office, Janie. Like all morning, I've been cleaning out my office, getting everything out. So before they come and move my building, I was like, let's jump on and do a live because my numbers are in the toilet. They're so bad. So I was like, we got to do a live. And this one was one that I thought was really interesting. So I wanted to share with you guys. So yeah, he took her very literal. Like when she said, are you going to be there for when my son's born? He's like, well, I don't know. I don't know when your son's going to be born.
I don't know when it's coming.
You think he'll be around more often now? This is not exactly the father-daughter reunion I was hoping for.
She definitely got homesick very quickly.
I don't want to come home. I got you. I don't like it here. I don't know. It's just not what I thought it would be. Like, it's just weird.
I hate that it was so strange for her.
Okay.
So that was 16 and pregnant, her meeting her dad. When she flew back from that meeting, she did not go see her dad again. That has been it. She has met her sister. Her sister had her and her sister had a relationship for a little bit, but then they become like there was issues with them and they become estranged again. But they are now communicating and they are repairing their relationship. And she met up with her sister and they went to visit the dad together. And she also talked about meeting her niece for the first time and how it was just a like natural instinct to be close to her niece. She was like, it was so weird because I don't have biological family members outside of my kids. She was like, so I just thought like, oh, my sister has a daughter that is going to be like any other kid to me. She said, but it wasn't. When she met her niece, she had this instant like love for her and like they got along really great. And she said it was just so weird feeling that connection. So we're going to start with them talking about her and her sister, and then which is going to segue into them going to talk to the dad. You guys let me know if you can hear.
It was good. My sister, we fell out for some time. And we talked about it, and
the best relationships do.
Yeah, we fell out for some time, and then we talked about it, and I don't know. It just was like we picked up where we left. Like I feel like if I ever was in Texas, like I would just hang out with my sister. It would feel like we grew up knowing each other forever, which is also weird because I didn't grow up with her. Like we grew up so differently. And my dad was like, I never thought that I would see you guys in the same room.
How sad.
I did talk about this on Coffee Combos already. So I
want to pause to say, like, as mothers, like, I don't know, like, we carry the baby. So I do feel like there is a different bond that mothers have with their children than dads. Because you imagine like living your life on earth, in your 60s, whatever, however old he is, and knowing you have children out there and thinking, I'll never see them in the same room together. So, wow.
I was in Texas when I recorded with Lindsay. So naturally I was just like telling her I was getting ready to go to the airport, but I didn't get to tell you any of it yet. But I went in there angry and sort of not really open-minded, just more so doing it because everyone told me I would regret it. And I had all these conflicting feelings. Pulled into the driveway saying my dad could kiss my ass and I'm going to tell him how I feel, to getting to the door. From the time I got out of the car to the time I got to the front door, I was already crying. So I was already like softened up with it. And then just like hearing his, I don't want to call it like side of the story because he didn't really tell a story, but it was like he let me ask every single question I had. And I don't think I showed Lindsay this, so you could leave it in this episode. This was my notes, and I literally titled it Deathbed Questions. So I had notes. He let me ask every single question.
I think the sister is younger, Heather.
That I had. And at the end of it, he was like, do you have any more questions? So he was really,
he was able to talk and like answer.
Yeah. Like he was having a good day. He did have his oxygen on. He couldn't like, you could tell he was getting pretty winded for the longer answers. I filmed everything from my point of view. You could hear his voice, but you can't see him.
Yeah.
Which I think will be good. I'm going to post them because I really think that this could help somebody. Like my sister was even like, Kail, you need to go find your mom now. Like go find your mom so you can get the full trifecta.
I'm assuming you found out information that you didn't know, like was the truth.
I did find out when my mom shut off my cell phone to go to Texas when I was 17. If it wasn't for the film crew, I don't know how I would have gotten from Philadelphia airport to, because that was only my second time flying in my whole life. And My mom shut off my phone, so I didn't have phone service, nothing.
How crazy is that? You are flying for the first or second, what'd she say? Her first or second time? And you're going to meet your dad and your mom cuts your phone off. I am like terrified if my kids leave my house and their battery is low and they're going to be out for a while. I'm like, charge your phone. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to make sure they're okay. We're on Live 360 and I'm watching them as they go somewhere. Like, how could you send your kid where they're going to be flying, meeting their dad for the first time? And I don't know if it was like out of anger that Susie did that, but I wouldn't, oh my gosh, I would die knowing my kid is going to be flying and they don't have a phone to contact me when they land or contact somebody when they land. Susie has mental issues. I feel like this is not normal behavior.
Joe's parents overnighted me a phone, and then my mom actually called my dad. So my whole life, my mom said, I don't know where he is. I don't know. My mom had his phone number the whole time. My mom was in contact with him the whole time. And in fact, called him while I was there and said, so what do you think?
Oh, Susie.
So it was like,
oh, Susie.
Cool. Love that.
So my biggest question to you is, do you feel lighter?
Yes, I feel lighter. And when I left, it was so interesting because he was like, you still look mad. And he looked at my sister and he was like, she don't look mad. You look mad. And I was like, no, it's just like a lot. Like I spent essentially 30 years of my life being so angry and so mad that like, it's not going to go away overnight.
Yeah.
However, I've been home. I visited him, I guess, 5 days ago. I have no regrets. There are no questions I wish I asked that I didn't ask. There was no answers that I wasn't satisfied with. I feel lighter. I feel more at peace. I feel forgiveness for him. I'm going to cry. I feel forgiveness for him. I think all my anger was very misplaced. And he did what he could for what he had, but he didn't have a whole lot. So like, I can't, like my mom's family like was rallying around her to make sure that I was good, right? Like my dad didn't have that. My dad was by himself and he was trying. Like after going there, learned that he went to every single court date regarding me for the first 2 years. And then he got a final order that said that he had to stay away from me. So like, I didn't know that. I didn't know I didn't know it was a court order to stay away.
That's why.
So like at that point, it's like, what could he do? Like he couldn't, maybe he could have called, but my mom moved around so much, it's possible that she had his phone number, but he didn't have hers. Like that's very possible. He said he tried calling my grandparents, and if I remember correctly, I did ask about that. He said he called my grandparents. I can't remember if he said they hung up or they wouldn't give him any information or whatever. And it's like, I was expecting him to do what he could with today's technology when that wasn't the case in the 90s. So sure. I think overall, I'm so glad that I went. I'm glad my sister was willing to go. I'm glad my aunt was able to coordinate the visit. I have no regrets at all. And I hope to be able to go see him one more time before he dies. Like I really do.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's like a lot of emotions too that come up for you in a way that you empathize with him, because like you also lived a lot of your life not having people in your corner and like not having family to support you in literally all of like the trials and tribulations that you've been through. So kind of putting that perspective where like he was you in a lot of situations probably helps like allow for that forgiveness, because you know what it's like, right? Like you know what it's like to be the person without family.
I'm so glad I went. I'm so thankful for every single person, whether I was friends or acquaintances
That's a good question, Shelby. What was the reason for court order? Was he accused of CA? Courts don't just order no contact with parents. Who knows with Susie? I mean, really, who knows with Susie? Because Kail was not aware of it. And if I was Kail, I would try to get the records for that. I don't know if she would be entitled to them, but they were married. He filed for divorce because Susie wouldn't stop partying and drinking. And then obviously Susie, fought him for custody of Kail, and he didn't have the money, the resources, the support that Susie had. And, you know, according to Kail, he said he went to every court hearing for 2 years. Probably, who knows if he even had an attorney? Who knows? Who knows how that may have happened? And if Susie told the court, oh, he hasn't contacted her in 6 months, whatever, I don't know. Like, because some states, you can get them on abandonment if they go 6 months or a year without contacting or providing any financial support. And with Susie, she may have told, and maybe he didn't try to contact, maybe he was just trying to wait. The courts, sometimes a lawyer will advise you while you're going through the divorce, especially if it's like a hostile situation, don't reach out. I know with the Mama June situation with Caitlin, with Michael and them, like, people were told by lawyers, like, don't reach out. Let's get this settled and get orders put in place. And then y'all could start with visitation. So I don't know if, who knows, you know, it's very strange. But Susie was a functioning alcoholic, a very functioning alcoholic, especially when Kail was younger. Like, even Susie is now, like, watching on the show. She did end up to go on to get DUIs and stuff, but she was a very much a function. She worked, she, you know, seemed to live a normal life. So she probably hid the fact that she was an alcoholic from the courts. Who really knows? I think Kail should try to get her court records for that, just so she would have a better understanding of what happened and if what her mom may have told the courts in order to get custody. And she does say that her dad was born with some sort of brain injury. Through birth, something happened and he has some sort of brain injury. So they were married, yes.
Alessandra, Chris, everyone in my life and online who suggested that I go, because like I was like, ah, why? What? He doesn't deserve this. Like, he doesn't deserve it. But I just think that he sort of became a victim of his circumstances.
Yeah.
And obviously, not everyone's going to have the same mindset. My aunt did share with me that he also has a birth injury, I think it's called, like when you have an injury at birth, or you have like what is it, like brain damage from birth. So I thought that was interesting, and I think that plays into his like sort of nonchalant, what is the word, like demeanor, I guess, like the way that he goes about life. It was like, I asked him, do you have any regrets? And he's like, no. He's like, he's like, you can't change anything, so what's the point of regretting it, kind of deal. So, and I literally looked at my sister. I said, his personality is going to be my entire personality when I leave from here on out, because he is so nonchalant about everything.
Yeah.
To the point where surely he doesn't suffer from anxiety, because he just don't give a fuck. And I aspire to be like that for the rest of my life.
Surely he doesn't know what Lexapro is.
Right? I was shook because I was like, did you love, I hope I got it on camera. I hope I fucking did. Were you in love with our moms? Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah. I'm like, did you want to divorce my mom? No. I was like, why did you divorce her? She wouldn't stop partying. It's like, okay. So yeah, I hope to go down before he dies again. So that's the story.
I was thinking about you the whole time. I was obviously giving you space and not trying, like, I knew we would catch up and talk about it at some point, but I just knew that you deserved a part of you to heal, just from like, not even your own upbringing experience, but like, I'm sure a lot of like your anger for him translates over into like your anger also for your kids' fathers a little bit, because like you hate what he did to you, and like you, whatever the circumstances are. So there's just a lot of positive nature that can come from the conversation of just like healing those parts of you. So
one more thing I didn't say, I don't think I said it on Coffee Combos. He did take the DNA test. So
Listen to this. This is wild.
So I had him do Ancestry DNA and 23andMe. He was a little apprehensive, but he did it. So I mailed them out yesterday, and
could you have more siblings, like half siblings?
So I'm a little irritated about that because when I met him when I was 17, it was 2009. So 2009, he told me I had siblings in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to him on Monday, he said, I was just joking. Everyone in the military says that. And I said, I literally.
I'm going to tell that to Sean. He literally was like, I'm just joking. Everyone in the military said that. So apparently he was in the military too. Sean never came back saying, oh yeah, I probably have, I mean, which we were married when he went to Afghanistan, but Iraq, we were not. Yeah, Sean never talks about, oh, it's a possibility I have kids over there. He does say it's a possibility he may have kids somewhere. He's like, I mean, it's possible. Sean used to be, I mean, he just went all over the place from Utah, Texas, Georgia. He was like, he was a roamer, you know what I'm saying? So he has said before, like, oh, it's possible. Like I keep thinking one day I'm going to open up my Facebook Messenger. There's going to be a message, you know, and I'm like, ew. But he's definitely never said that about the military. I don't know. Could be an inside joke for maybe their unit. Yeah, maybe the guys in that unit could potentially, that could be a joke between them. Definitely.
Said, I don't think everyone says that. That's not something everyone says. And he's like, well, I say it. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
You've been running around your whole life telling people you have siblings in the Philippines.
I'm like, ever since the day you told me that, I've been like spreading that rumor. So now I need to confirm or not. That's how I was like, let me just confirm. Why don't you go ahead and take these DNA tests so I can just confirm? And he was like, oh my God. Okay. So then he did it. And he said that he was really glad that we did it. We didn't hug him or anything. Just like kind of like an awkward goodbye, but he did say he was glad that we did it. So that was my week.
What a week to have.
Yeah.
All right, let me stop that music. Nope. Goodness. The music always gets me, you guys. All right. No, in Dallas, everyone that came back. Really? Okay, so I did look it up because that was a good question, Shelby. I think it was Shelby. Yeah, would the military have let him in with a pre-existing brain injury? Because they can be pretty strict with some things. So I did look this up. So the U.S. military has strict medical standards for enlistment, and anything involving the brain is taken seriously because of the risk of seizures, neurological problems, or long-term health concerns. So here's how it usually works. Birth, brain injury history. If you were born with a brain injury, but you have no seizures or cognitive impairment and no lasting effects, it doesn't automatically disqualify you, but it can raise some red flags. Medical records review. The Military Engines Processing Station, MEPS, will request your medical history. If your records show brain injury or similar, they may require additional evaluations, neurological reports, imaging results. Automatic disqualifiers can be ongoing seizures, diagnosed cognitive impairment, paralysis, or any neurological condition that could affect performance are disqualifying. Possible waiver. If you can prove that you've lived a normal life with no limitations, good health, no meds, no neurological symptoms, you may be able to get a medical waiver. Waivers are considered case by case, and it depends on the branch and current recruitment needs. So a past brain injury does not automatically mean no, but it will likely slow down the process. So I never knew that he was in the military. Only time hearing this is when he said it. So, you know, and Kail talked about it in this podcast. So had no idea. Okay, so let's jump over to Susie Q, girlfriend. Like, to me as a nurse, her dad had a very flat effect. So anyways, yes. So Kail feels like she said her mom had her dad's number, that when she flew out, her mom turned her phone off, but then she found out that her mom called her dad while she was there. I was like, so what do you think of our daughter? Not verbatim. So what do you think of our daughter? She basically was like, so what do you think? Meanwhile, Susie has Kail growing up saying, I don't know where your daddy is. I don't know where he's at. Don't have a way to contact him. And social media was not the way that it is now. And Kail said that was one thing that she didn't really think about. She was like, why hasn't my dad contacted me? She's thinking about today's time, like how easy it is to reach out to contact somebody, but it wasn't always that easy. So last year, so Kail's sister encourages her to go find Susie, who she hasn't seen for years. Last year, Kail spoke out on one of her podcasts about her estrangement from Susie, stating that she feels badly about cutting Susie out of her life. So Kail said that last year. And if you've watched the show, then you know that we all know that Kail had a very strained relationship with Susie for the majority of her life, in part due to Susie's relationship with alcohol. Susie has only met 2 of Kail's 7 kids. Kail said on the podcast, the guilt has eaten me alive. Like I cut off my own mom by choice, and it eats me alive every single day. Back in January 2024, Kail revealed on one of her podcasts that Susie actually tried to contact her via Facebook Messenger after Kail said all that on the podcast. Kail said, I think the message said, I love you and I always will, or something like that. It took me a minute, but I did message her back. And she said, I did message her back. And she said, so her response to her mom was, then how could you walk this earth knowing you have all these grandkids and you don't care? And her response, Kail says Susie's response was, she was like, in your life, walk a mile in mine. So I don't know exactly what all of it said, because Kail said, I responded, how could you walk this earth knowing you have all these grandkids and you don't care? And her response was, in your life, walk a mile in mine. And I was like, ma'am, you may have had a hard life, but you very much effed me up. You chose whatever your life is going to be. To this day, from all accounts that I've gotten about my mom's life, my mom did not live a very difficult life. My mom chose a difficult life. She went down a path that ultimately contributed to the life that she's living now. And I guess she's talking about with problems with drinking. She said, I don't understand how you can say walk a mile when you chose that. So Kail's interaction with her mom was short-lived, as Kail stated that Susie ended up blocking her on Facebook after that conversation. Yeah. I think just because she doesn't reach out. Well, okay, so when Kail and Javier were married, Kail tried to reconnect with her mom so her mom could have a relationship with her kids. They started speaking, visiting, and seeing each other. She let her mom see the kids. Well, her and Javi went out on a date one night, and Susie came over to babysit the kids. I think the first and only time Susie was ever alone with Lincoln and Isaac. And Kail and Javi come back, and Susie is drunk. And Javi was not well. Javi was and Kail was too. It caused Kail and Javi some issues because Javi was like, I don't even know why you allowed her to keep the kids. Like, I knew it wasn't a good idea, but you told me she was sober. Like, this was a point of contention on one of the reunions with Javi and Kail, because Kail reconnected with her mom, was trying to reestablish that relationship. Kail thought her mom was sober and was doing better, but apparently she wasn't. And they left the kids alone with her, and they came back and she was lit. So they became estranged again after that for a little bit. And there's been like one time Kail was filming and her mom called, and she was like getting her makeup done for an event, right? So she goes outside and she's talking to her mom, and she's like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand, Mom. Like, you have another grandbaby that you haven't even reached out to talk, like to check on. Like, it's out there when I have babies. Like, it's out there. You know these things. So, like, why not contact me when this happens? Like, why not reach out? It's out there when I'm pregnant. It's out there when I have baby, and you're not even reaching out. So I think Kail, I don't know if Kail's ever blocked her mom. Kail said even after this, her mom blocked her. So I think Kail probably has left that line of communication open, hoping her mom would try, and her mom just doesn't really try. And every time her mom does reach out and Kail responds, her mom comes back with like something. Because even on that situation, you know, she was sitting there getting her makeup done and her phone rings and it was her mom, you know, and she was like, "It's my mom." So she walked outside, she answered the phone and she was like, "I just don't understand." And her mom just kind of went in like, "Oh my goodness, Kail," like blah, blah, blah. And Kail was like, "No, like, don't do that. Like, don't dismiss my feelings when I'm asking." She may have blocked her mom several times. I don't know. I'm sure she probably has. She did say this time her mom blocked her. And then other times we know of her mom reaching out. So I don't know if maybe her mom's gotten a new phone and reached out. Yeah. Who knows? But I mean, heck, with their relationship, I would probably block her when I got mad at her. It maybe unblock her like 2 days later, you know, when my feelings settled. But yeah, so that was filmed. And I remember thinking, like, goodness, woman, like, she had a baby. Her baby's months old at this point. Her other kids are years old, and you're just now reaching out again. Of course, her feelings are going to hurt. Just take accountability. Just say, like, I understand why you're mad. I've messed up, and I would like to try to fix it. But Susie's never been consistent, though. That's the problem. Is Susie's never been consistent, and she calls Kail, and Kail will voice her concerns, voice that her feelings are hurt, and her mom just, "Oh, it's not my fault. Oh, come on. Oh, you're being dramatic. Oh, you're this." So I could understand that. I could very much understand. Like, if I had a family member that only contacted me once every few years, and then when I was like, "Oh my goodness, you know, you never contact me. You have a grandkid," and they're like, "Oh my goodness, stop being. You know what? I'm doing all that I can. I'm calling you now. I'm calling you now." I would be like, "Okay, well, just let me say how I feel. Just accept it." You know. Schmuck says Kail had dramatic issues before this issue. Kail never received the treatment she deserved for it. Now she replaces love with children, poor relationships, and never got treatment for body dysmorphia. And she does talk about that on the podcast as well. Not that one, another one. Yes, thank you, St. Elmo's Fire. Thank you. Oh, yes, I never thought I would get here. Yep. Yes, little Abram. I did get my plaque. It was hanging over there, but I took it down about 30 minutes ago because we're moving my building. So I just took it down a little bit ago. I rage block people sometimes, and 2 days later I'm blocked. See, that's what it is. You know, we just gotta in the moment of aggravation and anger, block. But then, like, when you calm down, you're like, okay, I'm blocked. Yes, I'm a real YouTuber now. Exactly. Exactly. Anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. She says that she is going to try to go visit him again. She seems to enjoy that he has this very nonchalant personality, and she sees the humor in asking him, like, "What, do you have any regrets?" And he's like, "No." You know, she sees the humor in it, and I think it's because she's understanding that that's his personality. Probably, maybe it has something to do with the brain injury. I don't know, but she seems to like pick up. She picks up and is even kind of putting it out there to us that he kind of has a little bit of like a funny personality, not even knowing. Yes, we do. We do. His little snorts. But anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think? She said she went in with her notes. You know, my dad can kiss my butt, but walked out completely different, and feels like, her mom did not give her all the answers that she decided. Yeah, Shelby Lynn says, and it's money. She is benefiting for the situation with content. Yeah, I mean, that is Kail. Kail makes money off sharing her life. That is definitely, that's what she does. She shares her life stories and talks about what she's got going on. And she makes a lot of money. Her podcasts are very successful. Very. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Thank you. He was a funny little guy. Anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. If I can come back today with more, I will. I will be live tonight on TikTok to do the special forces. Now, it may be a little bit of a different setup. It may not be in here. It may be in our old house. It may be in our new house. I don't know, but that's an easy setup. I can just set up my 2 phones, go live, not a big deal. So tonight at 7:30 Central Time, we're going to go live on TikTok, Elle Bee Official, and we're going to watch season 4, episode 1 of Special Forces. That's with Cody Brown. Oh my goodness. I watched it. I caved. And when I was cleaning yesterday, I did watch the first episode. And you guys, somebody left on day 1. Somebody left on day 1. The cast is like Jesse Smollett, Cody Brown, oh my goodness, Teresa and Gia Judice, I think that's how you say their last name. Brittany Cartwright from Vanderpump. Who else, you guys? Who else is the? I'll have to do that, Shelby. I have to do fast reviews on here or something. I see a lot of people saying like, "Can you please watch the shows on YouTube?" And I'm like, man, I wish I could, but YouTube's copyright rules have gotten super strict. Like I may even get a block for playing those 2 little short clips of Teen Mom. Like I really may, and I may have to do an appeal. We'll see. But anyways, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, come back in a few minutes and hype this video up. It really helps. And right now I need all the help that I can get because we're moving and I've had so much going on for the past few months. My views are horrific. Like bad. Anyways, if you don't mind, come back and hype it up. Give it a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.